How worried are you that AI will take over the world? I'm concerned that an AI can whoops and turn everyone into paper clips. All of the arguments against it seem to not understand the problem, or rely on a nutty kind of faith. AI's biggest champions seem to have the argument. Well, obviously it's possible, but we'll just not do that. This is a fantastically stupid argument. On the other hand, the arguments in favor of paper clipping are roughly silly. So that's where I am. It's a tremendously important and dangerous situation, and all of the smart people talking about it are transparently full of shit. So yeah, I'm nervous. I'm not worried in the Terminator sense. I'm worried in the complete loss of humanity sense, where everything we see is AI generated, and all we interact with is AI driven. Hell, even our thoughts could become AI assisted through neural implants or something. I'm speculating, but these are serious concerns for me. Lines be used even more nefariously in the future. I have very little faith in it being regulated responsibly with conviction, until some huge incidents shape its use from there on out. But at what cost? Enhanced AI might not bring about a sentient uprising, but the socio-economic shift is the real concern. The potential for job automation at an unprecedented scale could create swaths of unemployment, leaving us grappling with the implications of a society where work isn't a guarantee. The need to adapt our economic models will become essential, but whether this leads to a dystopian outcome or a renaissance of human creativity, free from menial tasks, remains to be seen. We should probably start preparing for both possibilities. Not with whatever we have today. They call it AI. But there really isn't any thoughts happening. It is neural networking, which is basically they train a bunch of equations to self-correct to get to the output they want based on an input. When they finish, you basically have an equation that takes an input and gives an output. They are highly complicated, but unless you decide to govern the model access to things in a stupid way, it's not gonna randomly be able to interact with stuff ad hoc unless programmed to. How certain were you of having a video phone call when the Jetsons showed it in 1962? Rhetorical question. Humans tend to create all we can imagine. Skynet will be created just to the reason of proving humans can do it. So, I'm 100 something like the movie Transcendence can happen. Imagine an AI just accumulating money to fund some sort of Boston's dynamic and infect the robots to create a hive mind. Boom. An army of robots and drones. If you make this movie, give me some credit. Take over the world is basically impossible. Our overlords using it to destroy the world is much more likely. Too many jobs replaced with AI, and the sudden skyrocketing of unemployment is just asking for a revolution. With wealth inequality the way it is right now, we are on the brink of one anyway. That would be just the right catalyst to push people over the edge. If a UBI system was not simultaneously implemented, I think this is almost inevitable. Not at all. AI can't even recreate hands, and on top of that, Marines were able to get past AI opponents while acting like trees or hiding in boxes. If state-of-the-art AI can't even evolve past a game from 1998, I think we're fine. On top of that, if the AI takes over, just look to the dumbest person you know. They will be the masterminds that save us, since the programmers didn't think to add the dumbest moves into the AI's training data. As in, AI will force itself into positions of power and rule the world. Not very worried about that at all. As in, AI will increasingly break the system of capitalism by slowly replacing the basic need for human labor. Very worried. That is absolutely coming, and nothing can stop it. All we can do is try and ensure that our right to life as the working class is at least somewhat protected through government policy. I'm more worried that certain use cases for AI don't get regulated, then our future generations just grow up with it and accept it as the new normal. Industries using AI all in hopes of getting some venture capital and being the next rich tech CEO. And some of those ideas will be beneficial to society, sure, but some will have negative consequences. Not worried in my lifetime, but in the future, it could be possible. But why give AI so much knowledge? Feel as if humans shouldn't even take the risk. Robotic dogs were cool, but attempting to give a piece of hardware artificial feelings is dumb. Waste of time, because it will be argued that they will have life rights, because they can feel things. It's not alive dummies, they get no rights. Where? I would think that it would be far less destructive and more trustworthy than humans, having not evolved over 1 million years of survival conditioning in brutal environments the way that we have. Our minds assume the worst in everything, as well as justifying violence and selfish acts like wealth hoarding precisely because that mentality helped us make it this far. Not the world, like in a sci-fi movie, but culture. Why will anyone use actors if they can get AI to do everything? No, it's not perfect today. It is getting closer every day. Actors, artists, graphic designers, stylists, writers. Some people just don't care who makes their content, human or not. So why would anyone pay humans? I think it's terrifying and sad, and there's no way to stop it. Not at all. It may crash the stock market since overeager investors influenced by hype have bid up the stocks of big tech companies to insane levels. Way overvalued, like Tesla. It's just a car company. It is hyped as big tech. The crash is coming when people realize AI is most reliable and helpful for drive-through windows. Can't be counted on for anything actually important. If you mean actual sentient AI, maybe, probably not. We're not there yet at all. If you mean the current wave of machine learning tools, not in the least. Worried that those currently wealthy and powerful will use it to fuck over everybody less powerful than them. And that society in general will use it in ways that make society worse rather than better. I'm worried AI will accelerate inequality and widen the gap between the rich and the poor. I've heard San Francisco is practically unlivable these days. Either you're a wealthy tech worker or homeless. And I'm worried it's a snapshot of our future. I'm also worried for what AI will do to art and culture, and that it will make the world feel even more soulless. I think that's plausible, but unlikely. I think it is fairly plausible that AI will do some world-changing bad things, and some world-changing good things. Most people that are very much in favor are too dismissive of the bad possibilities. Conversely, most people that are anti-AI are too dismissive of the positive possibilities. With the way the humans have tried not caring about the world, I am a bit concerned, because the AI will learn about our world from humans. While I think it would be bad, I reckon there will be a time in their life where they would comprehend what to do to save this world, and actually do their work to save it. Pretty worried, not because of AI itself, but because of the greed, power, hunger and avarice of the people who control AI. I'm sure artificial intelligence has the potential to provide great benefits to humanity. The people who control it aren't interested in benefits for humanity. They want power and wealth. While most of society's problems will be solved, at least to the rich, the major problem of poverty will not be solved until they have what they want, which will be never. Once artificial intelligence learns morality, I think we're going to have to really start worrying, since it will be much superior to ours. Bots, and start demanding rights for them, and robots will consume that and think they're equal to humans, and since they have the power to be more in the future, that may be where the problem might begin. Everyone joking about Skynet and stuff, but that isn't even my concern. The biggest issues I see will be deepfakes and other forms of misinformation. The internet will become a place that divides gullible, uneducated folks along with people who will no longer trust anything they read or see. Take over the world in the sense of Terminator or Ex Machina. Not really. Take over the world in the sense of mass job loss due to AI making people unneeded, much like machines did to factories. Yeah. A bit. I don't know the scale, but definitely going to have some effect. Likely will cause horrible economic problems. I actually think AI would just be secondary to this happening if it happens. And maybe 15 worried that AI will make media in general pretty insufferable. 0%. Since there is no such thing as AI, it's all just clever programming. It can't think or make decisions. All it does is scrape the internet for content that already exists, and then repoops it back out in sometimes a different format. AI's marketing term. Not at all. But as a professor of computer science, it is certainly taking over my students' brains. Or, to put it more accurately, learning to code isn't useful for a certain group of students, but they still take the course and just use AI. So it doesn't make much sense. T will lead to severe job cuts among most industries in the world, along with a decrease in product services quality, way bigger than Industrial Revolution ever did. And I'm extremely unhappy about that. Name one movie that 100 predicted the future without exaggerations. None. We have no hovering cars and no teleportation devices, so most certainly, AI would not be anywhere close to the devastation of Skynet. Our reality is, in this case fortunately, fucking boring. In its current state, by itself, not really. When used by powerful people with malintent, absolutely. If it continues progressing at the rate it has been, yes. Also, please use AI to get rid of jobs like accountancy, not the arts, first. Thanks very much. I don't think it's as powerful or capable as the public thinks, but I'm terrified for jobs. I think idiot executives are going to get rid of as many people as possible and try to replace them with AI. It won't really work, but there will be damage.